obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
What is up, Nomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome podcast. And this week we got a fever.
And the only cure.
It's more Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
What is up, everybody? If it wasn't abundantly clear, what episode are we going to be doing this week?
This week we are doing The Fever. You caught me off guard there. I was like, why the hell is he doing a Christopher Walken impersonation? I was like, oh, it's going to be the Fever cowbell thing. Yeah, clever.
Season 1, Episode 17, original air date, January 29th, 1960. This was written by Rod Serling and directed by Robert Florey, who did 3 Twilight Zones. We only have one more of his to do.
Oh.
He did The Fever, Perchance to Dream, and The Long Morrow. This is definitely his worst.
I don't remember The Long Morrow.
I don't think you've seen it, have you? It's in the later half of season 5.
Oh, I thought it was a season 1 episode.
No.
Okay, yeah, then I probably haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. We'll jump right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was at the very end when the slot machine spits the coin back out at him.
Add insult to injury.
Exactly, like this. One thing this episode does a really good job on is like kind of pinpointing how insanely irrationally angry we get at machines that are glitchy and broken, and like we almost personify them to be intentionally ruining our lives, and this episode does a really good job with that.
I kind of have 2. I have the whole slot machine hallucination whole bit at the end is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's obviously the most memorable part of this episode. And then also the drunk guy, just that performance was pretty fun. I found that very comical.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
We have the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
So every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a Rod Serling style intro, and this week it came up with this. This is Franklin Gibbs, a man of principle, of order, of strong opinions about right and wrong, especially when it comes to gambling. He's traveled to Las Vegas reluctantly, the result of his wife Flora's sweepstakes win. A free trip, she called it. A harmless little vacation. But Las Vegas is never free. It charges a toll not in dollars and cents alone, but in willpower, in judgment, and sometimes in sanity. Mr. Gibbs is about to place a bet he never meant to make, one that spins out far beyond the reels of a slot machine and lands squarely in the Twilight Zone.
I wonder if Flora feels like responsible, even though she's obviously not, for his death, because like she just wanted a nice little trip to Las Vegas just to leave whatever small town she's from, and
I guess
shit
now
just
she's
spiraled.
free. She's free from Franklin, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah,
The
that's-
shackles have been broken.
Yeah, the silver lining to the experience.
I guess. It's still dramatic, even though we'll get to it when we get to it, I guess. But her hysterical when he jumps or he falls out the window and she just no.
I mean, if your loved one fell out of a window, he didn't
Hers-
jump. He backed
know.
into a window that was somehow so unsecure. Just the weight of a human body just breaks it. Like what?
Yeah, 60s glass, I suppose.
It must have been made out of like sugar.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I kind of find it hard for this one, even though there was so much happening, but I came up with 3.
Same, I got 3, but this was a tough one to make questions on.
All right, it's odd, so go for it.
All right, how long of a stay did the Gibbs win? I'm looking for days and nights.
2 days, 3 nights?
3 days, 2 nights.
Yeah, fucking retarded.
Couldn't even possibly be the other direction.
It has to be. According to Flora there, what's her hometown paper?
The I want to say like Figaro, but that's wrong. Like the Fugle. I don't know.
Is the Elgin Bugle.
Bugle. Okay, well, Fugle. I wanted to say Bugle, but I'm like, no, that's from Spider-Man. That's stupid. But yeah, I guess Bugle makes sense. I guess a lot of papers are called the Bugle.
I almost did my Jameson impression. I was like, that was kind
Get me Spider-Man. What's the name of the slot machine?
Rollatron or something.
Rollatop.
Damn it.
Close. Very close.
What is the special jackpot payout
For which one?
for the main machine there?
The main machine is $10,000.
Correct.
How much was the machine that Flora used?
It was a nickel.
Correct.
And what was their number in the hotel? What's their room number?
471.
23. Close.
You would think if it's 23, they must
On
be
the
on
first
the
floor?
first floor, but it looks like he fell a great distance, so...
Maybe they didn't have that system worked out yet.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, every room's... There's a 23 on every floor. That'd be confusing, though.
Technically, there is. If you go, there's a 123, a 223.
Yeah, but you can't just have every room called 23, because then what would the key say? Your door unlocks the person directly below you? That'd be strange.
All right, we'll jump right into the plot of this one. We open up on a Guys and Dolls knockoff song. Did you notice that? Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, is that where that song's from? I've
Yeah.
never seen Guys and Dolls. Yeah. Hollywood. Na 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 Hollywood. Which doesn't make any sense because they're in Las Vegas.
I know, but it was a hardcore knockoff of that. And we get a montage of Vegas scenery. And then we get two casino workers. They come up to the Gibbs family.
Already Franklin looking like a sourpuss just...
Yep. And the more happy of the two hotel gentlemen there is like, it's not every day we celebrate contest winners.
I love the response.
Maybe every other day.
Yeah, that was good.
So-
it had a couple of funny moments in this episode like that.
There was a few little charms like that. They say, smile for the camera. Franklin looks very displeased and uncomfortable. And this is when Flora goes, the Elgin Bugle. What's that? That's our hometown paper. Oh, yeah. We'll make sure they get it.
Yeah, which, then what the... Like, clearly he wasn't intending on actually saying it to the newspaper, so what was the point of taking the picture?
Make them feel special, I suppose.
Oh, I thought it was some sort of, like, advertising, like, they were going to advertise within Vegas? I don't know.
Right. And then he's like, all right, now enjoy yourself. You have unlimited credit, which this line right here, wouldn't that imply that Franklin didn't have to use any of his fucking money?
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. It's a bit confusing. Like, maybe just the credit was just for food, but not for gambling?
Right, like, unlimited credit. I was like, so Franklin lost all of his money for nothing?
Or by the means of unlimited credit, like, credit you have to pay back like a credit card. So maybe it was like, your credit's unlimited, but you have to pay us back eventually.
I think he was writing checks, though.
I don't
know. The whole thing was weird. That whole unlimited credit thing really got me.
I'm assuming that it was... They're saying he's good for however much they want to spend, but he has to pay back eventually. That's my guess.
And then Rod brings us in.
Mr. and Mrs. Franklin Gibbs. 3 days and 2 nights, all expenses paid, at a Las Vegas hotel. One by virtue of Mrs. Gibbs's knack with a phrase. But unbeknownst to either Mr. or Mrs. Gibbs is the fact that there's a prize in their package neither expected nor bargained for. In just a moment, one of them will succumb to an illness worse than any virus can produce. A most inoperative, deadly, life-shattering affliction known as the fever.
I want to know how Mrs. Gibbs won. All we get from Rod is she had a knack with a phrase. That's the most, like, unclear response.
She called into a radio station? I don't know.
Like, but with a phrase? Like, was it... Like, you had to come up with our town's
She had to
new
come
motto?
up with a dirty limerick for
Yeah.
There once was a man from Nantucket. We get a montage of people playing craps, slots, roulette. Flora's all excited. She's like, there's such a flavor here, Franklin. And he makes his point very clear how he feels about gambling. And I'll play some of this because there's kind of a little bit of little nuance that we need to hear. This is where they're talking about, it's your vacation. And he's kind of being very passive-aggressive. That's passive-aggressivism.
Yeah, he's a bit shitty and pissy.
Flora, you won it. But in all good conscience, I must repeat to you what I've been saying all along. It's a miserable, terrible waste of time. But, of course, it's what you wanted.
Oh, Franklin, try to enjoy it, won't you?
It's at this moment that some random lady wins the jackpot, and we kind of see, like, her, I did it, and a cool, like, close-up shot to just show the whole, like, hysteria of the casino.
The allure. Yeah, and then, the lady comes out with, like, the money basket and stuff, and...
Yep. And then it's at this point that Flora is excited. She attempts to put a nickel in a machine, but Franklin abruptly stops her.
Franklin stops her.
He's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Throwing money away. They might as well throw it down the drain, which, as someone that hates gambling, I completely agree with Franklin on this. I don't agree with his approach. Like, he doesn't need to be a complete ass. Like, he could still have a nice vacation, especially where room and board and everything else is already included. Like, you know you're going on vacation, like, maybe just put aside a small amount of money to gamble. Like, you're there, have a little bit of fun, but within reason.
Right. And then he kind of even belittles her more with the whole, apparently you're not mature enough to be allowed your allowance.
But it's just a pittance. And then she's like, well, the nickel's already in. I can't get it back out of the machine. And he's like, all right, go ahead.
Yep. She loses, and he does the whole, see, look, I told you so. I'm going back to the room. And as he's on his way to the room, he meets the world's drunkest man. And he's like, hey, buddy, come over. I've been putting fucking quarters in this for an hour and a half. You do it.
And, I mean, for a drunk, he's a very nice and friendly drunk. He's not one of those mean drunks. And yeah, he gives Franklin it must have been $1, but like I believe
it's a
coin
quarter.
Dollar. No,
or a silver dollar.
It's a silver dollar because that machine only takes silver dollars, apparently, is what they say later.
And then Flora kind of looks on creepily, like, come on, do it. And Franklin reluctantly does it, but he eventually pulls the lever, and he wins. Flora's excited, and he's like, now you see the difference between a mature person? I'm taking this to my room. We're taking this money home with us. Not these baboons. They would compulsively put it back in the machine.
And I like the little, like, intricacies that he adds to the acting, too, to kind of show, like, underneath what he's saying is that he doesn't like gambling, but you can tell, like,
he's excited.
The allure has already kind of grabbed him. Like, he's re-putting his hand in to check if there's other quarters that he might have missed, and he's kind of like giving small little looks at the machine. So,
and I had cue Curb music after that, because there's like, only idiots would keep putting money back in there. Dun, 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 dun. Little did he know.
Or if it was like Always Sunny, we're like, we're not going to get addicted to gambling.
The gang gets addicted to gambling.
Yeah.
Yep. They go back up to the room. The drunk guy comes to put another quarter in the machine, and after it finally paid out, but he somehow gets paid, and it kind of is like the thing paid out twice. Do you notice that?
I mean, yeah, it's not always the same amount that's going to be paid out at the same time. Like, they have like different amounts that win.
And then we hear for the first time our Franklin.
And this one's more subdued, almost like a cough. Like, it gets more clearer and crisper as his craziness kind of.
Franklin kind of assumes that it was Flora. Oh, what'd you say? You say my name? Why? No, dear. In the next shot, we're up in the hotel room. Franklin can't sleep. He hears the Franklin noise again.
And the coins on his dresser bureau keep piling up, like as if he's going to win more money. And then he makes
daydreaming.
The most outrageous bold-faced lie to his wife of, I need to go downstairs. This money was won. It's dirty money. I need to put it back into the machine. Even though he just said what a smart move he was going to do by taking that money and bringing it home.
All right. Do you like the cool jazz music in this one?
It's the same jazz music from The Chaser. I think
that's one of my favorite pieces of music from the Twilight Zone.
It is a good one, and it can be used in a lot of different scenes, like.
And it can be used as really good background music for top 10 videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, he comes up with the excuse, and he goes downstairs. He really wants to make that profit grow. He tells Flora to go back to sleep. Franklin's down in the casino. He's putting what we assume is his last silver dollar or whatever in. And Flora's like, come on, it's late. He's like, I know, Flora. Don't stand right here. Don't let anyone use this. Hold on a second. And it's at this point that he actually goes and takes out some of his own money.
But we find out in that line that that's the third time he's done this.
Yep.
I wish they would have shown when he ran out of the original coins.
The dilemma he had.
The dilemma that he would have had of, now I need to use my own money.
Yep. I guess if it was an hour long, you'd do that. But in this half-hour one, it makes sense because you're like, oh, wow, that escalated quickly, I guess.
I don't know. I would have kind of liked to see his own thought process, because later on, he keeps playing because he wants to win the money he lost back. But you'd think once he ran out of his winnings, he doesn't want to dig into, like, I think a lot of people play like that, where it's like, okay, I'm already up. I can stand to lose this as long as I don't leave with less than what I came here with.
Right. Yeah, I don't really understand the mind of the game. I've never caught the gambling bug.
Franklin, that's the third time you've cashed a check.
I know that.
Well, you've spent a great deal of money.
I know that, too.
Don't you think you ought to stop now?
How can I stop? I've lost a great deal of money. You said it yourself. I've got to win it back.
The sunk cost fallacy.
At this point, he's pretty much telling, shut your mouth, Flora, you're giving me miserable luck. It's like, people are listening. This got me, I know I say it a lot, but Dennis, the devil to people. I'm the main character.
Yeah, he definitely has the I'm the main character syndrome.
Franklin looks like he has 3 sets of teeth. I have this. Did you notice that? It's really creepy.
No.
It looks like, obviously, like, I don't know.
I noticed
sets, but it's like a top, and then it looks like there's like 2 sets of on the bottom. It's
no,
really
I noticed
looking.
on the bottom that his bottom teeth just like were very all teeth and no gums. Like they're just like the gums
It almost
receded
looked
a lot.
like he had like 2 tiers of teeth on the bottom.
No,
It was really creepy.
now that I know what you're saying, yeah, I it's just that his gums were like so low. It just kind of looked. I'm surprised his teeth didn't fall out.
Then we get a montage of Franklin losing. Workers are at the casino. Workers at the casino are even noticing, and they're like, "Wow, when you get hooked, they really get hooked, huh?" He's been playing that thing for 5 hours. We get more cool jazz music, some more montage of him losing. Somebody get me a drink of water. He's like tired, like he's been working out from this thing.
And Franklin's gone from like 0 to 100 in the course of one day, like one night even. Like, oh, I hate gambling. I'll never do it.
8
and
hours
then like
later,
immediately just into like, oh shit, like into a binge of gambling. It's crazy.
A drink of water, please.
Franklin.
Oh, Flora, would you get me a drink of water? I've almost got her licked now. She's bound to turn up in a little while. You just have to stick with her long enough.
I love how exhausted and out of breath and dehydrated he is from just pulling a crank for hours on end.
Pulling his crank.
Hey.
Yep. We get a little bit more montage. It must be really late. No one's really at the casino. And then in the next shot, it looks like it's morning. So he's just pulled a whole all-nighter up there.
Pulling the crank all night.
Flora's like, it's 8 a.m. At this point, he must have been gambling for 12 hours straight. And I wonder how much he lost in total.
Yeah, I kind of like to know.
I mean, obviously, he's winning some. He's like,
yeah, you win
said,
some, you
put
lose
6
some.
in, get 5 back.
So it's not like a 12 hours straight
But
of
I bet he's at
constantly
least
losing
still
money,
like a couple grand in the hole.
which for back then is a lot.
Right. A little bit more montage of him losing. We just got a lot of montages in this episode. Then he has his last silver dollar. He puts it in the arm, and it's jammed. And I'm going to play a little bit of this because I love his, give me my fucking dollar back.
Well, to be fair, that's how most people would react. Like, at this point, he's already pissed at the machine, and then it, like, fucks him over at the absolute worst moment. Like, it's his last dollar, and it doesn't even give him the satisfaction of pulling the thing one last time.
Giggity.
Give me back my dollar. That's my last dollar. You miserable dirty. Give me back my dollar. Franklin! Give me back my dollar.
Franklin!
I need a doctor. Give me my dollar.
We need a doctor.
This man's gone crazy. But I mean, who hasn't been there? Like, whether it's you've been writing this essay for hours and hours, and then your computer crashes before you had a chance to save, or like you've been putting so many hours into a video game, and it comes down to the boss battle, and then all of a sudden, like your PlayStation just shits out, or
I've been recording music, and if something doesn't, you fucking piece of shit,
and you're just ready to just throw that computer or whatever piece of technology or machinery it is just out the fucking window. Like it, I feel like this is so relatable, especially like as time goes on, like more and more like machine things like that
make their way into our lives for sure.
Yeah, and just piss us off when they break down.
So he knocks the machine over. Flora gets hysterical. Security escorts him out, and they put an out of order sign on the slot machine. And the next shot, they're back in the hotel room. Franklin can't sleep. He's like, that machine, it was just about to pay off. It deliberately broke down so it wouldn't have to pay me.
I love the whole hysteria of like, it did this on purpose.
Right. And then we start hearing the slot machine talk to him again. Franklin. We get the cool jazz music again. He's searching all around the room, opening doors. He can't find it. Flora's like, what are you doing? He opens the door, and there's the slot machine.
Did you notice what was different about the slot machine?
It had like a face this time.
It had like over where the money dispensed out from. It had like just a kind of mouth that it didn't have before. But that's the only part that they added to it. I was like, that's fucking weird. Like,
here's a cool mirror shot. So he opens the door, he closes it, and we're seeing from the mirror's perspective. And the door opens by itself. We see the slot machine, but then we see from like looking at Flora, and the door's closed. So that's how we're like, oh, it's all in his mind.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that little touch.
And then the slot machine's inside the room. Flora can't see it. She's like, what is going on, Franklin? And he's kind of backed into the corner by the slot machine. And he eventually falls out the window.
By just being too heavy? Like that, again, the window, shitty craftsmanship. I don't know.
We get a funny scream from Flora. And then he's on the ground outside. The doctor's checking him over.
I like the cop that's like, nothing to see here. Very classic cop.
Yep. The casino owner, the sheriff, and the doctor are out there. And he's like, he was gambling for over 24 hours. Never seen someone get hooked so bad. And then they all leave. And we get one last insult to injury. The slot machine gives him his dollar back. It rolls to his corpse. And Rod takes us out.
Mr. Franklin Gibbs, visitor to Las Vegas, who lost his money, his reason, and finally his life to an inanimate metal machine variously described as a one-armed bandit, a slot machine, or in Mr. Franklin Gibbs's words, a monster with a will all its own. For our purposes, we'll stick with the latter definition because we're in the Twilight Zone.
And that's our episode. Tyler, what did you learn?
Casinos take checks.
Yeah. I think they take a lot more than that.
You know what's funny about the past two episodes I didn't realize? They're both kind of PSA sort of things. Like the first one being don't hit and run. And the second one being like an anti-gambling ad, essentially.
Kinda. We'll get right into ratings. IMDb currently has us at a 6.6. Pretty low for Twilight Zone. I think like The Bard is the lowest, and that's like a 5.8. So something in the sixes is kind of crappy. Which we'll get to ours. Do you want to try at the same time, or do you think?
I think you might be lower than me.
All right, I'll go first because I'm lower.
Yeah.
All right, I'm giving this a 4.5. I don't. It's not good. It's not forgettable, but it's just kind of bad, and it's not really Twilight Zone because especially because it's all in his head. It's just a guy going fucking crazy. I don't know. If it was on in a marathon, I would watch it. But I would not go out of my way to be like, oh, you got to watch this episode, The Fever. It's essentially like if you were going to show someone this, like as their first Twilight Zone episode, you'd be crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give this one a 6. I mean, it's an okay episode. There's certainly aspects of it that I like. There was a few funny moments and obviously a very clear message about like the dangers of getting addicted to gambling and stuff. And like I said, I really like the whole idea of people kind of freaking out and personifying machines when they fail. I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, other than that, like the montage have really slowed this down. A lot of it just seems sort of boring or just kind of eh. So that mixed with some of the higher points, I'm going to give this a 6.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have Everett Sloane. He played Franklin. He was in Citizen Kane. He was in 3 Hitchcock Presents and 3 Playhouse 90s. He also actually died like a couple years after this episode. I think like 4 years later he died.
Who was he in Citizen Kane?
He was the Kane.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm not sure.
He was the Rosebud.
Yeah, he was the Rosebud, the particular Rosebud. We have Vivi.
His dying last words, Rosebud. Who's Rosebud?
It was that guy. Vivi Janice, she played Flora. She was in 2 I Love Lucy. She was in 2 Twilight Zones. She was in this, obviously, and Man in the Bottle. And she was uncredited as the voice of Daisy Duck in the 1954 short Donald's Diary.
Oh, the classic Donald's Diary.
Yes, the particular Donald's Diary.
Did you say particular?
Yeah, isn't that a word?
I don't think so.
I think it is. What's the word I'm looking for?
Particular?
No, like...
Titular?
The titular.
It's just titular. There's no P.
Particular. I strive to be like Rod, but I fail miserably.
Just making up words. The particular. What?
We have Art Lewis. He played the drunk. He was in 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone. He was in this and A Most Unusual Camera. And he was in 2 Gomer Pyle.
Pyle?
Shazam!
He must have been the waiter guy, the room service bellhop guy.
Something like that. It's a small role.
Yeah.
Rod wrote this after his first trip to Vegas with his wife, Carol. After The Twilight Zone got picked up, he kept losing, and he wrote this script because of this. Police were on set while filming this because gambling was illegal in California to make sure that no one was fucking around because those were real slot machines.
So they're like, oh, you can only pretend to be gambling here, no fake or only fake gambling.
Right, and it is the same slot machine from The Prime Mover. It gets reused twice. Remember that?
No.
You remember when Ace, baby,
well, I remember him,
he's using the thing in the beginning?
Yeah, at the little diner there.
Yep. All right. In total, this episode cost $55,480. The director received the usual $1,250, and the cast received $6,822.
What'd you say to me, Mike?
What's in the name, Mr. Benedict? Really? It's a mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episode we are watching. This week, I have 4.
I have 6.
All right, go for it then.
All right, I'll start with my debacle. I got the dollar debacle.
I have the double down debacle.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I got pull till you drop.
I got beginner's luck.
I got gambling Gibbs.
I have Franklin versus the house.
I have all expenses paid.
I have Vegas vacation.
Franklin's fixation. And my last one, just one more pull.
I could be. You should have saved that for the porno parody. Oh, that's pretty good. How about switcheroos? I have 4.
I also have 4. I wonder if we have the exact same 4.
A nice place to visit?
No. The Chaser?
No. A thing about machines?
Yep. The Hunt?
I have spur of the moment.
And Steel.
And they have to change this one a little bit, but The Trouble with Franklin instead of The Trouble with Templeton.
Yeah. Or The Trouble with the Slot Machine.
Yeah. You are now about to penetrate the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, so once in a while, if we have a worthy porno parody name title, we will do so. So Tyler has one this week. Let's see if it's a yay or nay.
All right, so instead of the fever, we have the fetish. I mean, there's so many things it could be about. It'd probably be something really weird and out there.
A gambling fetish.
Yeah. All right, so not many direct ones, only really one direct reference to it, and it is...
There actually is a direct reference to this?
Yeah, there's one that we've already gone over, actually. It is from the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror ride. The slot machine from this episode is sitting once you disembark the ride. It's kind of sitting there next to like the dummy and a couple other props.
Right. Check out our episode, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, a history and tribute.
Yes, a lot of cool different nods to the show there on the ride there. Other than that, just some kind of different pop culture references that are kind of vaguely similar. We got 2003's Going for Broke with Delta Burke about a woman's slot machine addiction ending in her arrest. And we have 2015's Deadly Gamble. It's about when a man with a gambling addiction puts him and his family's life in danger by borrowing money from the mob. And then 2003's Owning Mahoney, 1974's The Gambler with James Caan, who... Franklin kind of looked like James Caan.
He does kind of look like James Caan. I see that. I can see that.
Yeah. And then 2019's Uncut Gems, also about gambling, although this was more gambling on like basketball and stuff.
And you got The Simpsons when Marge gets addicted to gambling, remember?
Vaguely.
That's a good one. And Homer becomes the like dealer, and Marge was supposed to help Lisa with her state thing.
Oh
Look
yeah,
like
and then
Florida.
Florida ends up looking bad. Then there's also the Family Guy one where Lois gets addicted to gambling.
Does she?
Yeah, and remember, and that's why Peter and Chris have to go out in the woods and have a vision.
Oh yeah, lots of gambling addiction. Do you guys have gambling addictions?
If there is, I'm sure there's a number. I can't remember it, but
call it.
Yeah.
All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture when I have to guess what it is. Now, apparently, I mean, I gotta keep saying season 4 until we get it, because it's been like this is like week 13 or something. So,
all right, well, let me just preface this by saying the next 5 are a new block of 5, and we're returning to all 5 categories.
Do you want to remind the audience what our original format was?
Yes, so original format includes 5 categories. Those categories are aliens, time travel, death, other, and future.
All right, I'm going to guess season 4, and I have no idea what it's going to be. I'm just...
All right.
Got to get it eventually.
Ready?
Yeah. Black leather jackets.
Yeah.
Not season 4.
Not
Holy
season 4.
fuck,
Season
guy.
5.
All right, this has been like 15 episodes without season 4.
You're exaggerating. It's not that bad.
Oh, sorry, 14. All right. How was it? This is one of the latter half season 5 that I haven't seen. I've heard it's kind of dog
Oh, you
shit.
haven't seen it before?
I know of it, and I've seen bits and pieces. It was actually on when I turned Pluto on the other night to watch The Fever.
So
hey, Daddy-o.
I remember watching it a couple years back thinking like, oh, it's a little cheesy, but I mean, it's not bad. Like, it's the lower of the Alien episodes, but even the lowest Alien episode is still a decent episode. So, yeah.
All right. Next week, it's an Alien one, guys. It's Black Leather Jackets Season 5. Watch it on Pluto TV here in the States is where we see it. Or
I watch it on Amazon through...
Well, look at you, fancy pants, Mr. Millionaire.
Yeah. Amazon has it if you do the Paramount thing attached to it or something. But there's one episode that's not. When I was watching this one...
The Fear.
No.
The Fear's not on Pluto for some reason.
The only one that isn't on Paramount is an incident at Owl Creek. Or whatever.
An occurrence at Owl
Creek Bridge, yeah.
That one wasn't
why. I was thinking maybe because isn't that one like filmed by someone else? It was like...
It was a film
festival
win, and they added it to the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I like that episode,
which makes me think that maybe they don't own the rights to that episode.
When they aired it the first time, they must have had to sign something to get the right to
but
make
it was
a
like
Twilight
a limited.
Zone.
I don't know.
I like that one a lot. That's a good episode. I'm excited for that.
You are about to receive a message from the 5th dimension.
All right, so got quite a few comments, all of them on the Top 10 Twists episode that we have out on YouTube. So if you're listening on Spotify, be sure to check us out on YouTube too.
I think you can comment on Spotify as well, but I don't know how to check those other than going through every single video and seeing if someone commented.
I have no idea that Spotify even has a comment section, but so reading off some of our comments. Like I said, these are all in that Top 10 Twists episode. So we have K. Acornish 1 says, "To Serve Man is easily top 2.
What did we have it at? Number like 6 or 5 or something? It was pretty up there.
I don't remember. We'll have to rewatch our own episode. And then we have one from Raymond Bastian. Lil Sixco says, "Old Time Radio, which is available on YouTube, has a lot of these episodes."
I like listening to Old Time Radio a lot. One of the the radio stations here in Portland, WLOB, plays all Old Time Radio.
I do like that. Isn't that awesome. Like around
every Saturday or Sunday night?
Yeah,
like after 8 o'clock until midnight. I love it.
I do like driving around just hearing like the really old radio and like
listen to like old Honeymooner episodes and Twilight, all kinds.
There was
of
one
stuff.
that was like an alien sort of invasion story plotline or something like that.
War of the Worlds by Orson Welles.
Yeah, maybe. And then we also got one from Sam King's Way. And Sam King says, "You got number 1 right 100%. What an ending."
Great. Thank you guys so much for all the comments. And that brings me into a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe on YouTube. We have 153 subscribers right now. It's pretty fucking awesome. Tyler was like, I think we'll be at 150 by, when did you say, like 4th of July? And I was like, maybe, but...
And now I'm thinking we're going to be at at least 200 by the end of the year. So
I really hope to have 200 by Christmas. That would be awesome.
I think it's definitely doable.
Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It means the world to us. We love doing this podcast every week, and we hope that you guys enjoy listening to us, even though we're just two idiots talking about the Twilight Zone. We really appreciate it. If you guys could please comment some more if you want anything read out here on Messages from the Fifth Dimension. If you need to get a hold of us for any other way, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. And if you want to contribute to the new name segment, you can. The easiest way, I'm pretty sure, would probably be the Facebook page. Even if you don't use Facebook, if you want to get on there just for that. Because every week when I drop the video, I post a picture of next week's episode. And that would probably be the best place to comment your new name, and I'll read it out.
You'll probably be taking a picture of our board, right, and putting that up there
I've
soon.
been saying that for a lot of them, but yes, I definitely need to do that. And also, a couple days after this episode drops, we have another top 10 that is going to be coming out in the next couple of days. I just haven't gotten around to working on it, but it's close to being done.
Did we already tell them last week what the theme was?
I believe so, but if you missed that one, we are doing the top 10 funniest Twilight Zone episodes.
Yes, so get your funny bones ready.
Boing. All right. Until then, Tyler, final question for you. We went to Vegas once together. What was your favorite thing there? What did you like and dislike?
Specifically Vegas, or like just about the trip in general? Because then
Vegas, don't like Grand Canyon.
So I can't say the Grand Canyon or the Hoover Dam.
That sucked. The Hoover Dam was awesome. But Grand Canyon sucked ass.
I like the Grand.
Wow, look, it's a hole in the ground.
I thought it was cool.
I think everyone was just pissed.
Yeah,
just a long drive, no food.
That's their fault for not stopping when I told them to eat.
I wanted to go to that road.
I thought that would have been cool as shit. Like a little hole in the wall. It looked like you'd probably get shot if you walked in the door. My favorite part of Vegas, I loved jumping off the stratosphere. I thought that was a lot of fun.
I didn't even like being up in it.
No?
I hate heights.
What did you hate more, being up at the top or walking towards the stratosphere?
Yes, we met some shady characters. Probably walking...
sketchy area between circus and all that whole side
Vegas
of the strip.
Can be very sketchy. I don't know.
What was your favorite part of Vegas?
That Michael Jackson show. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was. A lot better than Chris Angel's show. That was terrible.
Oh, that was... But more dancing.
Let me just hide this card and dance.
A lot of dancing. If you guys,
and
I love seeing
a lot of like buy my shit too.
Oh yeah, a lot of pushing product. But it's crazy because I used to love watching his TV show. It was really cool. But like seeing him live, it was just like a huge like look at me, shameless self promotion.
Yeah, we should have gone to see Penn and Teller.
Yeah. I also wanted to see those Cirque du Soleil shows. If you're ever in Vegas, guys, go and see some of those because that Michael Jackson one was incredible.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I missed the Elvis one. I have the soundtrack to it, but I've never seen it. I bet that was awesome.
And you did the what's it called? The Titanic thing.
Yes, they had a Titanic museum.
Was it cool?
It was awesome.
It looked like it was like a really small.
No, it was really big. That was awesome. They actually had a piece of the ship. They had exact like replicas. You actually felt like you were in the movie. Not to get. Now I'm starting to feel
like walk down the stairs and
they did have you could get your picture taken at the grand staircase, and then there was one where it was like a night scene. You're on the side of the ship and looking out in the ocean. It was awesome.
It looked like you walked into a room no bigger than this room.
It was huge inside. It was like a giant warehouse, and every single like room you went into was bigger and bigger.
That just blows my mind. They must have like exited the main building somehow, because like from outside it looked like just a small box that you're walking into. I'm like, that's gonna be a really shitty museum.
It was awesome. It was incredible. Highly recommend that. I don't know. That was at the Luxor.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, but the Titanic Museum. If you guys are interested in that was awesome. I feel like Jerry. Remember from the time he goes to the Titanic thing. But all right. Until then, Ty, do you have anything to say to our dear listeners?
Yes. If you have a gambling addiction, call the Gambling Addiction Hotline. And until next time, thanks for stepping on the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone. Frisbee's telling stories, Mr. Dingle strong. There's time enough for the real Martian to stand up. Next stop, will it be little girl is lost? There's something on the wing, Walter Jameson won't live long. Feel like I'm 5 characters in search of exit.
jacking off in casinos.
I'm really into just jacking off in casinos.
I'm really into just jacking off in casinos.
That's not fair. It's not fair. There was a time now. It's not fair.
That didn't sound anything like Burgess Meredith.
No, but like same premise of like just complaining. I don't know.
I'm really into just jacking off. I'm really into just jacking off, jacking off, jacking off, jacking off. I'm really into just jacking off in casinos.
I'm gonna play that at the end of this. I'm just really into jacking off at casinos.